Yeah, I'm Ian Hunter. I was referred to earlier. I was trying to hide in the crowd there.
Eventually.
It's kind of interesting. I'm from Victoria now. I run this shop called Sacred Herb, the hemp shop. And I managed to get busted last week for growing marijuana. We had some pot plants growing in our store window for about 4 months. And it's in our parking lot, our back parking lot faces the back of the Capital Regional District parking lot where all the mayors walk on their way to Market Square. So the real point to celebrate is we're able to grow marijuana publicly in Victoria under the nose of authority for 4 months without being busted. Now, when they did come to bust us, they were very nice to us. We were very nice to them. They didn't take our pipes or books. They didn't pee on the wall like they did in Hemp BC. They did take our seats, but we might get them back because I wasn't charged with trafficking. So that's good. So but I think I'll have to explain to you a bit. Like, I have a bit of a different perspective over in Victoria. It's a less stressed city, and really saddens me to come back to Vancouver sometimes because it seems like such a stressed city. Like, stressors is what causes addiction and patterns of addiction. The more stressed an environment is, the more people need some potion to remedy that. That's why there's so many hardcore junkies around here, because the pollution is so bad and the stresses is so bad in the city that they get addicted to this stuff. But hemp's a healer. It's not like heroin. It's not dope. And that's the important thing, right? We have to make distinctions between what's happening now. The province is officially going in the direction of decriminalizing not only pot but also heroin. And it's really important that we figure out. Well, heroin does suck, but there's people who are addicted to it, and there's people who are addicted to cigarettes as well. And the thing is, it doesn't really matter what you're addicted to. If you're addicted to it, you should have a way of safely taking it and not getting screwed up by it, because most heroin deaths are to do with prohibition. Prohibition leads to the harder drugs. Prohibition leads to death. Our Justice Department officials, our police over here know that. And I think that there's a lot of people on their side who are helping us, who want to help us. And you see, I'm not paranoid. I don't really fear. That's why I could grow pot plants in my window for 4 months without fearing. That's why I could say that I have pot on me all the time in Victoria. And I managed to accidentally get busted in Langford when they're protesting, when they had a law that is banning hemp stores in Langford. There we protested. I was arrested. And hooray, I get arrested finally after 3 years of doing hemp rallies, of helping start Hemp BC, and a whole bunch of other things. I finally got arrested. But I think it's sort of, I'm paranoid. I believe there are people out there helping me behind my backs. And it's really important that people shift from a paranoid perspective that sees enemies everywhere to a pronoid perspective where we see friends everywhere. Because as soon as we start seeing the policeman as a friend, as soon as we start going up to them before they go up to us and go, well, hey, what do you think about this prohibition nonsense? Are you in favor of this or not? You know, how can we heal this situation? You know, that's when we start healing. If you fear things, if you're paranoid, you hide. If you hide, people think people are suspicious of you, or suspicious of you. They think you're hiding something. Therefore, it gives you reason to be paranoid. It's really important to not be stupid, but to be free and to be knowledgeable of who your real enemies are and who your real friends are, and to get people on side who are wearing suits and all that, right? It's got to be, this movement has to move beyond hemp, and it has to move beyond where we're at right now in the streets. It has to get into the boardrooms. We have to repair. We have to be friendly. We have to use hemp, the healer, to heal things and to get change happening, right? Because this is a really sick city. It's a really lovely city, but it used to be a lot lovelier, and it used to be a lot better in here. And I think it can be better if we help it heal by engaging the police in this process of getting Brandon to admit that, or not to admit anything, but basically to get them on side. We have to get meetings together. We have to get We have to get the political machinery together. As soon if we keep just the aggressive stance, then they'll be aggressive back. We have to be more friendly. We have to be engaging. We have to have hemp-friendly zones in Vancouver. We have to do all this stuff because that's what they need to get the whole ball rolling. If the problem with legalization and decriminalization right now is not the question of should we, it's a question of how do we, because all of these political structures are in place to maintain prohibition. There's all these people who are employed doing it. It's not like they believe it, it's that they're perpetuating it. And we have to figure out ways of dismantling the machine without it crashing. Because right now it's heading towards a crash, and it's heading towards a big crash in the States. And and this is not the States, this is Canada, this is Vancouver. We can go a different direction. We can go the direction that the provincial government officially wants it to go. So I want to invite you all over to Victoria, because in Victoria there's a bit of a different attitude over there. Even though they're still arresting people for possession over there, because the Crown Counsel over there who approves the charges is a political appointment, so he makes money every time somebody's popped for possession, unlike the civil servant over here. That's why there's no arrest for possession anymore. However, right next to the new police station that opened yesterday was a massive raid in the Memorial Arena, and the police were the security, and they were checking people for bottles of beer and Gatorade and things like that you could buy inside, but they weren't checking them for ecstasy or pot. And there's lots of ecstasy and pot smoked at this all-night rave next to the new police station with the police doing the security. Now, why isn't that happening here? I've been hearing from rave organizers that all of the raves locally have been busted at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. before they even start. And all these kids on ecstasy, all these like 15-year-old blissed out kids are out in the streets of Vancouver at 3 a.m. What's the use to that, right? So we have to heal. We have to get the police on side. We have to stop the corruption that's perpetuating in them, that this drug war thing has happened. We have to help the provincial government in going through their official policy of decriminalization. We have to live and trust and love is essentially what we have to do, you know. And I think that's what you need. If you love this city, if you want to stay here, then that's what you have to do in order to make it a livable city. So I want to thank you for your time, and just remind you that 25 years ago today was the great day when the police beat up the people, and the police are not beating up the people right now, at least not right now, right here. So I think that's a little victory, but we have to make a really big victory of this situation and take from this the mark where we move the city towards, where we just start right now believing that prohibition has ended and act accordingly, and start growing pot publicly, and start going up to police and going, I'm carrying marijuana, would you arrest me or what? You know, and but not being offensive about it, you know, being friendly about it. We have to be friendly, we have to be kind, because it's the kind that we're talking about. So thanks very much for coming out, and I'd like to see you over in Victoria. We're going to have a rave for rights and responsibilities on September 21st. That'll be next to the new police station, probably. Also, every Monday at 4:20 in Mile Zero, or at Mile Zero in Beacon Hill, is we gather, do our Mission of Ecstasy thing, hold hands for 42 seconds, and smoke pot publicly. We've been doing it for over a year now. So thanks very much. You're free.